Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut!
What's up, everyone? So I'm back with another build. Now, we all know the hype with Deadpool and Wolverine is out there. Everybody's doing Deadpool. Everyone's doing Wolverine. I wanted to do another character from the movie, especially because this was a character that hasn't been around since the early 2000s, at least this version. And I was super excited because I got to see it. So in the early 2000s, I want to date myself here, when I was in my 20s, I loved the X-Men movies. I thought they were great. And the fact that I got to see Juggernaut in this version gives it a more non-comic book feel, but more of a realistic feel to it. I thought it was great. So it was very exciting for me to get this done. So real quick, we'll talk files. This is the DO3D file. This file just came out great. I had no issues with it at all. Typically, they are scaled at 100% for me, but this one, I actually scaled it down just 1% because I like to fit just a little bit better. I'm just very happy for this helmet. Kind of like one of those nostalgia things for me. I've made a couple of these. So one of them I'm going to keep, one of them I'm going to do a giveaway at some point. So keep that in mind. But yeah, let's get on to the build and show you how I got it done. This does not give you the abilities to run through walls. So please, if you decide to build this, don't try to run through walls. So here's the helmet. I've got it all sanded down on the bottom edges and everything. Now I'm not going to go through a full paint tutorial, but I will get to the point where I make it the silver chromish kind of look. When I get to that point, then I'll explain the process from there and weathering and all that stuff. Now, I also want to say about this helmet, it's a textured helmet, so this is not going to take me long to finish. There's really not going to be much of any kind of sanding, as you can see after the primer. It's just bringing out all the textures. So the paint on this is going to be pretty quick. So I got the primer on it. Next I'm going to hit it with my flat black, see how it looks, and just double check any high spots. Then I'll be clear coating it with a 1K clear, and then we'll move on to what I'm going to do to give it that chrome, gray, shiny gunmetal color. All right, here we have the 1K clear over the black, and yeah, this is awesome. Barely any sanding just because of the textured piece. So now I'm gonna let this dry. So as I'm moving on, we're using up the graphite rub that I've got. Now this is actually going to be a base coat for a later procedure. This is just going to start working in the different textures and things like that in the helmet. It's all about layering with this, and the damage and the weathering and dirt, cleanliness, everything. So this is going to work out just fine. And I really don't know what to say at this point because this is a recording over the video, so I'm going to just let you enjoy watching the rest of this. So I've got the graphite rub on, I've got it buffed, but to me it's just a little dark. So now I'm going to take my paint that I like using, the Universal Silver Metallic. I'm going to lightly mist over this just to give it that layering, weathering effect like you guys know I like to do. Now, I did not fully coat this. I only went with a mist coat just to lighten it up a little bit because I do plan on weathering it and coloring in all the detail pieces. So now it's time to move on to some weathering. Now I want to basically color in these cables and things like that that are breaking through the helmet. So I'm going to be using this oil paint of Master's Touch, and it's called Lamp Black. Now this is pretty dark. It's an oil paint, which is great because it won't dry so fast. So if you screw up, you can wipe it off real quick or anything along those lines. All right, perfect. So we've got the oil paints all set. Now, as I showed in previous videos, I like using baby wipes for different styles of weathering. And what I did was I basically brushed it all on, and because it is an oil paint, I kind of spread it around a little bit where the openings were, just so it will give it the effect that it got dirtied up from being damaged and all that stuff. Now, I am going to go through one more time with a black wash, and I will be weathering the entire helmet, but this, because it's a little bit darker, is going to give it a little more contrast for what I'm looking for. So real quick, I wanted to explain what I was doing in that scene there with my hand. Now I was kind of highlighting some areas with some rub and buff. I wanted to give it a little more contrast of light to dark, freshly damaged, dinged up, compared to slightly worn that you see on most of the helmet. And also at this time, I also want to thank Polymaker again for their CosPLA for sending this to me. Really appreciate it. This stuff is great. In the previous video, I thought I had the version backward, but I didn't. This is version B. I really like it for durability and sanding much easier compared to where A is easily more sandable but not as durable. So this stuff is great. Link will be in the description below. And now let's get back to the video. And here it is, all finished, nicely weathered. Details pop just exactly how I'd like them. It may have been an accident. It may have been done on purpose. That's the beautiful thing about doing paint jobs like this, is you can play around with it and just bring out those textures. I'd say it's a perfect fit. So I hope you like the build. I'm just very happy with it. I love it. It's one of those things from me growing up that I just enjoy. So I will link everything down below between the files, paints that I used, all that stuff. I'll have that all in the description below. So I will catch you guys on the next one. If you like this content, please like, follow, and I would appreciate it. See you guys later.